Okay, I also have got a question. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Can you see me? Well, no.
No, but I can hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see you.
What inspired you to write this wonderful novel, Mother to Mother?
I don't know that I would say inspired. I think the novel was provoked out of me. You know, when Amy Bill was killed in South Africa, I was still working at the UN. The news made that the event. I mean, that terrible thing became world news that same day. When I heard about it, I was at the UN. It broke my heart that this child had come and died in South Africa, died in Guguletu, which I called home then. And one of the jobs I did before I left the country was as a welfare worker. And that area where she died, Section 3 of Guguletu, was my area. I could take it there blindfold. I knew exactly where I could see it in my mind. And the reason Amy died is the sad reason of race hate. There was no other reason. She wasn't being robbed or anything. She died because she was white in a black township at a time of heightened, race hate. And what made her death even more tragic for me was that she was not even South African. And I've never advocated the killing of white South Africans, don't get me wrong. But that she wasn't even South African made the tragedy even more tragic, if you understand my reasoning.
Yeah. But
I wasn't writing a note about it. It was when I was back here during our first truly democratic elections. I heard that one of the 4 young men who was responsible for her death was the son of a childhood friend of mine. That made me, I moan about my life sometimes, what didn't go right and blah, blah, blah. But at a moment like that, I am made to understand just how singularly fortunate my life has been, just how exceedingly lucky my life is. That could have been my son, that could have been he. That my life has gone the way it has is a stroke of real good fortune. I could have been that woman. Nothing when we were playing as children said she would be doomed to a life of perpetual poverty, and I would live the life I live. That I would get higher education. She didn't finish primary school. She is the kind of person I call in my writings a perfect product of apartheid. I am the exception, the lucky fluke, if you will, a fluke that somehow escaped the vagaries of apartheid. And so when I look at that, I ask myself, why have I been singled out for this great fortune? And I think those of us who can string along a couple of sentences together, we need to leave footprints. That's the reason I write. We need to share with posterity what it was to be people like me. And when I realized, when I got to hear of this coincidence, I felt to myself, I know what this woman was like as a child, how zestful she was, how bright she was, and how witty she was. And in my culture, when a sad event like this happens, it used to be that, irrespective of what happens in court, the family of the perpetrator must go to the family of the victim just to say we are sorry. How is she, who has very little English, going to talk to Amy Bill's mother? The fact that they might meet, for me, wasn't immediately, possible. I didn't see it as a possibility. When I thought of what this woman would have said or could have said to Amy's mother. But would they ever meet? I don't know about you, but when things like this happen, I feel sad, I feel terrible, I don't do anything about it. But this story stayed with me for 2 long years before I thought I need to make Amy's mother understand why her child died. Because my take on it is that those 4 boys killed Amy, but in reality, all South Africans, black and white, killed that child for allowing race hate to get to those levels. We were all culpable. But I didn't. I'm a bit of a coward. I wasn't about to go and look for Amy's mother and talk to her. Instead, I wrote the book. If I were not a coward, there would be no book. I would have just found Amy's mother and made her understand, not that it would bring her child back, but to give a sense of, the background to the tragedy.